For a lot of guys getting back into fitness who are looking to lose fat, build some muscle definition, often they don't know where to start, especially if you don't have a lot of experience in strength training before. So in this video, I'm going to show you a simple system that I use to help men over 30 build strength and increase their fitness and physical capability whilst on their fat loss journey. And you can do this at home with minimalist equipment, or you can do this in the gym. The only thing that really changes is the implements that you use, but a lot of the movement patterns, the muscle groups that you're using are all the same. We need to get biggest bang for our buck in 2 to 3 workouts a week, plus also have some room for other types of activities to improve your cardiovascular health, your general fitness, as well as getting stronger. But unless you're training for a physique competition, training 2 or 3 days a week in the gym or at home with some resistance training is more than enough to make tons of progress for a very long time. And each of these sessions, with the template I'm going to give you, it can be done in around 30 to 45 minutes, or you can extend that to get a bit more volume done if you have more time with some of the add-ons that I'll explain. The other benefit of doing 2 to 3 full body workouts a week rather than a muscle group, you hit a full body session. If something does come up, say unexpectedly, your child gets sick, you have to go and pick them up from school, you miss a workout that day because you didn't plan for that time. Your dog's sick, shitting all over the house, you need to go to the vet. There's like hiccups in your week all the time that you don't expect. So if you miss a workout, or even 2 workouts that week, if you're doing a full body strength session, you're still getting every single muscle group hit and stimulus at least once or twice a week. So tons of benefits to training this way. First and foremost, before any workout, you'll do a warm-up. I'm going to leave that part of it to a different video on its own. What we do with the guys that I coach, because it's men in their 30s, late 40s and 50s, even some guys in their 60s, mobility training is a huge part of it. We're not 20 anymore. We're not only caring about muscles and how we look aesthetically. Yes, that's a big part of it. We all like to look good. There's nothing wrong with having a vanity-based goal. This is going to get you in better nick so that you can look good with your top off at the beach when you take the kids on holiday or you're at the swimming pools with the kids. But we also want to prioritise some mobility training and looking after the joint health, because if we're just doing the conventional strength-based movements, that leads to a lot of stiffness, aches and pains for a lot of guys without prioritising some mobility. So we use that as the warm-up, and it's usually stuff that is generally good for your body but also prepares you for the specific movements that you're going to do in that workout. So this video isn't too long. We'll keep that for a completely separate video. I use a simple 3x3 system, 3 main exercises. You can add more if you have more time, which we'll touch on in a second. And we cover 3 sets of those. And again, you can reduce the sets if you have less time. You can keep it at 3 sets if you have more time. Upper body push, an upper body pull, and a lower body exercise. So we're going to cover everything within this workout. And I'll give you an example for a dumbbell-based workout here, and then maybe a bodyweight-based workout here, so that you can see how it would contrast from training at home with minimalist equipment to training at home with dumbbells and a bench, or in a gym with dumbbells and a bench. So for Monday, let's say push is the old dumbbell bench press, because Monday is International Chest Day. Wednesday, we might do a push-up variation, and that can be any form of push-ups. I like deficit push-ups because we get a great stretch on the chest. And then maybe Friday we do an overhead press or an overhead push, which could be a half kneeling dumbbell push. Right, then we've got our pull variations. For the dumbbell variation, let's say it's a dumbbell row, probably a 1 arm dumbbell row. Wednesday, keeping with the body weight theme, it would be a body weight row on either gymnastic rings, you might be able to see them to the side, or a suspension trainer, or even on a bar. If you're training in a gym, you can do them under a barbell. Then Friday, since we've done again 2 forms of horizontal pulling on both of these days, we want to get some sort of vertical pulling. So if you can do pull-ups, then it's going to be a pull-up variation. Most guys in their 30s, 40s and 50s who are just starting out cannot do them, but that can be a great goal. So it could be something that bridges the gap to those. It could be hanging variations. So you're working a lot of hanging drills, or it could be a pull down. If you have a lat pull down multi-gym at home, or access to a pull down in the gym, Or you could do a band assisted pull-up variation that takes some of your body weight off of your upper body and allows you to do some pull-ups with a bit of assistance. So we've got horizontal pushes, vertical pushes, we've got horizontal pulls, vertical pulls. That's all of your upper body work taken care of. This stuff is the meat and potatoes. Your small isolating exercises like bicep curls, tricep extensions, shoulder lateral raises, those are like your pudding or your icing on the cake, if you like. And you can add them in later if you have time, but if you don't, you want to focus on the compound movements that use the most amount of muscle groups to execute the exercise and take the most amount of effort. Because we're training basic human movement patterns, this is going to help you move better, feel better, as well as recruit the most amount of muscle during your workouts. Then we're going to focus on leg. The three main movements that I want to cover, ideally for somebody with more time, there's a lot more things we can do to optimize how your body moves and how strong and resilient your joints are. But we want to look at the bare essentials here, and I categorize this in some kind of squat variations. I like dumbbell goblet squat if you're just starting out or getting back into it. I don't like putting people straight into barbell squats. Depending on what your goals are, you might never need any variation of barbell squat. We want to improve your strength, mobility, flexibility, your work capacity before moving on to that, if that's a goal of yours. And then after building up a lot of ability, I like to be able to do 2 or 3 sets of dumbbell goblet squats with half of your body weight for 20 reps. So that can be even a long-term goal for some people. And you're going to get great results from that in terms of strength, endurance, mobility, not just in the legs, but also in the core. The upper back, the spinal erectors, and your shoulders, because everything has to contribute to hold the chest up high, hold the weight in place. And that's all great attributes to then be a foundation for a strong barbell back squat and be able to progress with that safely. Because a lot of people, when we fling them straight into barbells and having heavy loads on the back, it just causes problems and can run them into injuries. But I'm not saying that it's a bad movement to use. Most guys, late 30s, 40s, 50s, who are deconditioned, just are not ready for that. And if we look at the Wednesday, lower body, I'll go for a single leg option. And one of my favourites is a body weight. And that, by the way, this is whether you are training in a gym with all the bells and whistles or have all the equipment at home. But a body weight Bulgarian split squats, commonly known in my coaching group as Bulgarian bastards, because it doesn't matter if you're doing this weighted for heavy, for lower reps, or body weight for higher reps. They are absolutely tedious. I love building strength endurance with these high reps with body weight. Your legs are going to carry you through life, and if you want to be able to play a sport in your later years or hike for days on end, be able to tolerate some level of endurance running, to play with the kids, the grandkids, go adventures, then having strength endurance in your legs is one of the key attributes that you're going to need. This isn't just about looking good aesthetically. They call it health span, not just prolonging your life, but prolonging the quality and the physical ability that you have along your lifespan. And bodyweight Bulgarian split squats are a great thing to work on, especially walking up to the 25 to 30 rep ranges per leg for multiple sets. Fantastic movement. Moving on to the Friday, we haven't covered some kind of hinge movement, so I would put in here dumbbell or barbell Romanian deadlift. Romanian deadlift is something that improves the strength of your hamstrings, glutes, your lower back and upper back, your whole posterior chain. We can also put in something like instead of this, like a kettlebell swing that does the same, not the exact same, but it trains the same movement pattern. A little bit different, a bit more ballistic, a bit more explosive, but you wouldn't start with those. You would start with kettlebell Romanian deadlifts to then progress onto the explosive variation of it. So you build strength and integrity in the form and the execution of that movement pattern. And this is the theme, right? The movement patterns are all same. We're training the same muscle groups to execute these movement patterns. The implement is what changes depending on what you have available, what your preference is, what you enjoy using, and also what you're ready for in relation to barbell back squats and stuff like that. For a lot of people, you don't even need to go near barbell back squats. You can do a hell of a lot with body weight, dumbbells, kettlebells, even just minimalist equipment, like your body weight in a simple suspension trainer at home. When you understand the movement patterns and training to what you've got, so if it's minimalist equipment, then it's going to be building up a lot of strength and endurance with basic movement patterns. You can make a lot of gains and progress with any situation. Being in the military and going to places like Afghanistan, where on little forward observation bases, we didn't have a lot of equipment sometimes and we just had to improvise, and that was a really fun way to train. Pull-ups, making barbells with wheels and tyres and stuff on either side of it. It's a bunch of fun. So with a little bit of creative thinking, doesn't matter what kit you have access to or don't have access to, you can learn to create demands on these movement patterns so you can get fitter, stronger, and ultimately improve your fitness and physique that way. And that's pretty much it right now at this point. So we would do 3 hard working sets of any of these movements. If you're really struggling with time, then what I say to the guys is a couple of ways that we can scale this down. Come in with the intention of doing your warm-up sets for these to build up to your heavy weights, and then just do 1 hard set of each exercise, and you've still got a full body workout, but you've slashed the whole workout time in half. You've got the warm-up mobility done, you've got the strength section done. That's good enough to progress with an exercise, but also maintain any gains that you've made. So if you're going through a tricky period in life, it's a busy couple of weeks, then that's a great way that you can get the workout done. Or you can pick 1 key exercise from each day. So here, maybe it's bench press. Here, maybe it's the Bulgarian split squats. And here, maybe it's the Romanian deadlift or the half kneel and press. And you just do those exercises for 3 sets. Or if you have enough time, then you just do the full workout. Then you've got accessory work. Accessory work is anything that's going to basically supplement all of this. So we're looking at abs, or we could say core, because there's a lot more in relation to your trunk than just the abdominal wall. Arms, shoulders, calves, those kind of things, maybe weighted carries. That could definitely come under the core work. Some of the things that I like to prioritise in here when it comes to core is rotational work. Rotational work, standing on your feet, because that's a basic human movement pattern. A lot of people don't have that, and because they don't rotate very well, have strength and good mobility through those ranges, tend to get a lot of back problems. So I like to put some sort of rotational work in there, whether it's dumbbell wood choppers, training with club bells, steel maces, those kind of things. I like that because it's fun. Plus I also get a lot of shoulder blade and shoulder mobility and strength with that as well. So I get all my rotational and anti-rotational work from those implements, but there's plenty of other ways you can do it. But this is where you can add this stuff in. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions, let me know. But this is a great way to build your workout programs, your individual workouts, and fit in the correct movement patterns. If this video helped in any way, shape or form, do me a favour, hit the like button, because doing that shows the video to more people. It helps the channel's algorithm. And if you have any questions or want to give me any feedback on it, then do drop a comment below. If you need any more help, you can also join the free Dad Bod Debrief, which is a series I created with all the best stuff that I know about losing fat, building strength, mobility after the age of 30. You'll find a link to that in the description and my page bio somewhere around this video. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.